Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Good Morning Soul. And recently, I've been rewatching this web series slash anime, if you want to call it an anime. It's a TV web show, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's called RWBY, and I'm rewatching it because my girlfriend and I, we are going to be seeing the voice actors at a panel for an upcoming con we are going to. So it was a perfect time to rewatch the show for me, and there's two new seasons that I haven't seen yet. And I thought this would also, be a good time just to rewatch these 4 really fucking epic trailers. And I've always wanted to make a video about these things. So here we go. Before RWBY came out, there were 4 trailers leading up to its release. Each trailer seemed to highlight a character of that show. RWBY is spelled RWBY, and so the R stands for red, which is the color of the first main character. Then there's white, the second main character, black, yellow. And we meet all these characters in the show, but for now they're just nameless color characters. The character is also named Ruby, which is ironic that we learn in the show. So, I thought, and by the way, real quick, at the end of all the trailers, it will, show the silhouettes of these 4 characters, and each one is slowly revealed, and it says, coming 2013. Such an epic way to introduce a piece of art, even if the first season was kind of whack. But that's besides the point. So this trailer is about this teenage girl who looks to be like 14, 15, and we see her at this grave, which we later learn to be Ruby's mom. Which the first 2 trailers don't seem to be canon, whereas the other 2 trailers seem to be canon and actually part of a story that is in the show. But for now, this trailer is just about Ruby in some kind of winter environment walking through the woods, and a bunch of these werewolf Grimm come out of nowhere, and these Grimm aren't even what the Grimm look like in the show. So that right there is okay, it's not canon. And this whole location looks different than it does later. But it is this location looks badass. This forest, these colors, this cliff that we get this really cool angle of. It's a really cool scenery. And then we get this wide open space where a bunch of Grimm show up, a bunch of these werewolves. I should not act like I've seen the show and talk about the trailer as if it's its own thing. So a bunch of these werewolves are going after this girl. And the girl, by the way, she's dressed in red. There's an obvious Red Riding Hood theme going on. This is obviously just some kind of weird brainchild that the show was written around. The fact that, she looks this way doesn't even kind of represent her character. They were obviously just going for a Red Riding Hood type of thing and thought hey, she'll fight a bunch of werewolves. That's cool. And she has this amazing weapon, which is a big ass motherfucking scythe that is also a sniper rifle. So imagine a scythe that you can whip around and chop werewolves' heads off, and the other side of it, the staff, is a fucking sniper rifle. And that goes into so many cool attacks, amazing choreography. It's literally the whole fucking trailer. It's her just shooting these things down. She'll get a lot of cool moments, she'll slash one, and then it'll get caught in its neck, and then she'll pull the trigger, and it'll be boom. And then she'll shoot one as she pulls the trigger. A lot of really cool ideas, when she's up in the air, flying down, raining down on her opponents. And I love the petals that come from her cape. That has always been an aesthetic for the show in general. I love that design. This actually looks really good. All the fight scenes in this show look amazing. And that started here. And this was a really interesting way just to start the show in general. It all started here with this really cool trailer. And not only that, but I love the music in this one. I love the music in all four of these trailers. They're all amazing. But the first one, Red Like Roses, it's this very and how it's such a perfectly themed thing. We get the Red Riding Hood, we get the red like roses. It's all pouring into like this one idea, and very like few and far between do we see like these stories that just have like the perfect song, the perfect idea, the perfect like visual. And I remember the first time I watched this, it was around the time it came out, so it would have been like 2013, 2014. I want to say 2013. And I remember it just kind of blew me away a little bit, despite the fact that it's, it's not animated great or anything. And the Grimm obviously look pretty dumb. The werewolves, I should say. But that did not matter at all because it was such a cool idea, such a cool design. And the music, it all lived up to this really cool thing. I do think like RWBY, she doesn't smile in this. She just looks badass the whole time. She looks super pale. Doesn't really feel like the same character that we're watching in the show. Especially now that the show looks way better. And RWBY looks completely different. But this is kind of like a skeleton version of what was to come. But it was such beautiful skeleton. Like, the skeleton itself can be, like, cooler than the actual human. If that makes sense. And I love the weapon. I love, just the brainchild. Sometimes trailers are cooler than actual, movies. Because trailers can show all the best parts and just kind of give you, like, an adrenaline shot of all the good parts of something. And that's kind of what this trailer was. So, the red trailer, and I've always wanted to talk about this. I was finally able to. I'm really glad. The aesthetic here is A+. I love the way that the snow reflects and the way that the sky is like very translucent. I just love all of that. It was a very interesting way to go about it. But anyway, those were my thoughts on the red trailer. I still have 3 more to go through. There is still white, black, and yellow. Red was not my favorite one. We'll talk about that one when we get to it. But anyway, thank you guys for watching as always. I super appreciate it. I'll see you tomorrow with another episode of Good Morning Soul. And with that, I leave you.